Good morning. I am Reverend Rudra Dundzila. My pronouns are he, his, him. And this month, as Simon has mentioned, is Native American Heritage Month. So I just wanted to emphasize that Social Justice and Adult Spiritual Exploration has an event coming up on November 14th to go visit the Anishinaabe Center in Mount Pleasant, receive a tour, receive a presentation about Anishinaabe spirituality, and then go have lunch and gaming at the casino for those who are interested in the gaming portion of it. This is a way of us relating to the Native peoples of this area and learning more about their culture and traditions and current way of life. Thank you. My partner, Mikey, has sometimes worked as a home healthcare aide. He doesn't do the medical stuff with folks, but he helps them around the house, groceries, shopping, cleaning, laundering, things like that. Takes them shopping or for medical appointments. I sometimes wish some of those skills would translate at home, but that's a different story. So Mikey has this one acquaintance, Brian, that he's been visiting, and Brian was preparing for spinal surgery, a very serious surgery and a long period of recovery. And they were shooting the breeze about Mikey and all of his pickup trucks, each in some state of disrepair. The brakes don't work on one, the power steering is out on another one, no brake lights on a third one, and you get the picture, so on and so forth with each of these vehicles. So Mikey is an auto mechanic. And you might be asking yourselves, as I frequently ask myself, how come an auto mechanic can't get his own fleet of vehicles fixed? Now that's a really good and serious question. And some of you are giggling and you probably know some auto mechanics in your life. I have resigned myself to this being one of the questions that's the mystery of life. Have you ever seen the TV series Roseanne or its successor, The Connors? Remember that show? It's still sort of on. Dan, the father's always tinkering with a motorcycle in his garage. But that motorcycle never ever seems to get fixed or go out on a ride. He's always fixing it. I think that's sort of the situation with auto mechanics and their toys in the garage. So after this conversation, Brian felt sorry for Mike working vehicle. And Brian had an older used car that he gave to Mikey as a present, probably also in part, compensation for the care that Mikey was going to give to him. But that's an example of generosity. Getting a free car is an example of generosity. And we've all had experiences of generosity, of unexpected generosity in our own lives, probably many, many times. I invite you to enter in a spirit of reflection of your own life right now. Think back over your life. What sort of blessings of unexpected generosity have you received? Maybe someone stopped and changed a flat for you out on the road, or helped you pack and move, or gone shopping for you when you were sick or during COVID or during a snowstorm. Maybe brought someone, you or a family member, to a doctor. Think about these things that have blessed your lives for a moment. Contemplating generosity is a well-known spiritual practice, and it is a practice that leads to gratitude. In Christianity, reflecting on the graces and blessings that you have received during the day is a traditional part of night prayer. Gratitude. Pious Jews have the practice of saying, Baruch Hashem, praise God, or Baruch Atah Adonai, blessed be the Lord, when they experience some sort of blessing in their life. Gratitude. Likewise, pious Muslims say, Alhamdulillah, meaning praise be to God or thank God. when something happens to them that is a gift of generosity. And each of the 5 daily Muslim prayers includes a segment of thanksgiving for what has happened. Gratitude. In Buddhist Vipassana or mindfulness meditation, the meditation session concludes with a mindful moment of gratitude for whatever you have received in that practice. And then you share the merits of your practice with all sentient beings. Gratitude shared with others. All such reflections of generosity become conscious moments of gratitude in our lives. And it's the consciousness that's important, that we become aware of the very many ways that people help us in very many ways throughout our day, throughout our week. Neuroscientists say that you can rewrite your brains with the gratitude practice. As in any repetition, we train ourselves to learn something new. We learn by doing. We train our bodies at the gym or by riding the bicycle or by running in races. We train our minds by studying, by reading a new book, by reading articles. We could also train our emotions to make them aware to the new possibilities going on around us. All of this repetitive action trains our brains and it affects the neural pathways in our brains. Helping others in need extends our practice of gratitude, just like we receive all this generosity in our life, we can share that generosity with those around us. Acts of kindness and charity deepen our own sense of appreciation for the blessings we receive from others. And in our programs, we have the printout of the Unitarian Universalist, Shared Unitarian Universalist Values. We had ordered the new brochures from the UUA, but they didn't come in time, okay? So we're still using the homemade ones that we have here. And in those values, gratitude is highlighted, and generosity is highlighted, and part of the value of generosity is gratitude for things received. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude and of hope, we say. We have many examples of generosity here at CUUB for which we are thankful. This is Thanksgiving, the month of Thanksgiving, November. CUUB has many ministries. Who here in this room is involved in planning and leading worship, the worship associates, the texts, the meditation leaders, the coffee hosts? Would you please stand up for a moment? Who plans and leads our children's our spiritual exploration programming? I'm going to let them know. We're acknowledging gratitude for the spiritual exploration program. There's 3 of them in there. Who works with pastoral care here at the congregation? Please stand up. How about the ministry team? Who's on the ministry team? Or on membership? Or who's involved with social justice? These are all people that help make CUUB's ministries happen. We also have dedicated individuals, please stay standing. We also have dedicated individuals on church leadership. Would the board members please rise? Finance team, facilities team. And if you're already standing, I invite you to raise a hand because you're playing 2 roles. We also have the small group. We're going to get to the 2 hands in a second. We also have the small group ministries, the men's group, the 2 women's group, Kindred Spirits and the Red Tent. Would their facilitators please stand up? And if you're already raising a hand, maybe raise a second hand if you're doing triple duty here. To all of you, I say thank you. Thank you very much for sharing from your lives, from your hearts, from your experiences with this community. And invite the congregation to express its gratitude to you and your leadership and guidance as well. Okay, the double hand thing, let's all do it. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. Without you, without all of you, CUUB would not be able to spread the love in our hearts into our community, transforming our community into a more loving one and transforming the world around us. All those many circles from the local schools to Brighton and Howell and Livingston County and the state of Michigan and the United States to transform our communities around us into more loving and caring communities. Together, as Unitarian Universalists, we are building a beloved community of love and justice for all peoples with no exceptions, for all races, all ethnicities, all languages, all religions, all genders and forms of gender expression, all sexual orientations. We do this not just in our midst, but also to reach out to the world around us, because that world is seeking love and healing from the pain and suffering that many people are experiencing. In this month of Thanksgiving, in this month of giving thanks, I invite you to a daily personal spiritual practice, something intentional to do. It's not going to take more than 5 minutes of your lives. Can you try this out from now until Thanksgiving and maybe continue afterwards? At the end of this day, set out a time for yourself, an intentional time for yourself, where the screens are down, the TV is off, and just think about your day. Find 3 things from your day that you are grateful for. What generosity did you receive during the day? You might find 3, you might find 5, you might find 10. And then, and this is important, write it down on a slip of paper, because our minds can so easily forget. And so the practice of writing down, journaling, will help us to remember. And then continue that practice for each of the days leading up to Thanksgiving. And you're going to have a list of probably 20 or 30 or more things, more examples of generosity that has touched your lives and your hearts, things to be grateful for. In that spiritual practice, you will be reprogramming, so to say, your emotions, making your emotions conscious, aware, mindful of the many blessings, the many graces, the goodness that you have received. And hopefully that will help kindle your spirits, kindle your hearts to a deeper loving of others and sharing with others. Simply acknowledge gratitude for the generosity that comes into your life. So basically, for the month of November, I am inviting you to enter into an intentional attitude of gratitude.